timeline on you one more time. Everybody, look at this. So this is phase 4. This is phase 4, thank you. Now, there's a lot of other stuff we didn't get a chance to talk about today. We didn't even mention that we're making Black Panther 2. Didn't come up. We didn't mention the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is coming. We didn't have time to talk about Captain Marvel 2, by the way. I didn't even have time to talk about the Fantastic Four. There's no time left to talk about mutants. And how mutants.
So at San Diego Comic-Con, Kevin Feige gives a big announcement at the end of announcing Phase 4 for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He announces that they are planning on working on the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, or in his words, mutants. And a lot of people are wondering, how will the Fantastic Four make their triumphant debut into the MCU? Well, I have the answer for you. And I believe that they are going to somehow be implemented into the storyline of Antman 3, or Antman and the Wasp 3. And from what I've heard, the title of that movie is called Escape the Microverse. Now, if you go back into the comics, there's a time where the Fantastic Four shrunk to a very microscopic size that no one couldn't see them, and they went into what they call the Microverse. And I'm thinking that maybe within the quantum realm, the city that we saw as a cameo in Ant-Man and the Wasp, maybe that city is where the Fantastic Four are residing. Maybe it's a possibility that they were already established in the MCU years ago. I'm thinking they're going to take a page out of the Captain America type of storyline, where they're somewhere within like the 60s or 70s, and Reed is working on some type of experiment where he shrinks the whole entire team of the Fantastic Four, and they get shrunk down into the quantum realm. And what ends up happening is they stay in that city in the quantum realm, and they're trying to find a way out. But what ends up happening is, when Ant-Man and the Wasp, when Scott basically goes down into the quantum realm, when they're trying to escape the microverse, they end up stumbling upon another scientist, or stumbling upon that city that we saw in Ant-Man and the Wasp Part 2. So I'm thinking that somewhere down the line, Reed and Scott work together, and they find a way to escape the quantum realm in the microverse, and then they come back into modern day time, not aged at all, but look the exact same. And it's like a cultural shock to them, because they have no idea what's going on. Like, the whole entire world looks different to them, and they're trying to find their place into the world. And just like with Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, I'm thinking that, remember when Janet Van Dyne was stuck into the quantum realm, and she mentioned how being in the quantum realm for so long, it changes you, how she has these healing powers and these abilities to do certain things. I'm believing that the Fantastic Four did not have their powers back within the 60s or 70s, wherever the movie is going to take place. I don't believe they had their powers. It's just Reed was just a scientist, and he was very smart. He is one of the greatest minds within the 21st century, within the whole entire comic books. They said that Reed Richards is the smartest in the MCU, well, not MCU, but in the comics and just within the Marvel Universe. So he's just a scientist. He does experiments. That's what he does. He tries to find breakthroughs in technology and resources and everything. And he ends up shrinking the team, and they're stuck in there since the 60s and 70s. And now they're out thanks to the help of Scott and Hank Pym, and now they're back into the modern day. So we might get a cameo at the end, or they might actually implement a storyline within Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 where we actually meet the Fantastic Four. And I honestly think that's a great way to start out the storyline. I think that's the best way to introduce the Fantastic Four, and I don't see any other way to introduce the Fantastic Four. I don't want to see it them make their debut through like a multiverse or anything like that. I honestly believe that is probably the best way you can. That's just my theory. That's a theory that I thought about overnight, and I honestly believe that could work. So if Marvel, if y'all guys are watching, yeah, try to. I hope y'all guys implement that theory, my theory, somewhere down the line. But I really do believe that would be the best way to introduce the Fantastic Four, and somehow establish them with powers. Reed comes out with these crazy, stretchy powers that he has. He's Mr. Fantastic, and then you have like Sue Storm with the invisibility and the force fields, and kind of similar to what Janet Van Dyne can do. And then you have like the Thing. Maybe somehow he got, I don't know, he interacted with some type of element within the quantum realm, and some type of rocky element, and it ended up altering his DNA. And Johnny, of course, him just being the hot-headed, fiery guy that he is, hence fiery guy that he is, that's his power. He just ends up getting like fire powers or something. So maybe they interact with certain elements within the quantum realm that gives them their powers, just like Janet Van Dyne has been in the quantum realm for so long, and she has accumulated these abilities over time after being in there for so long. So I'm thinking that's how the Fantastic Four will get their powers. That's how they will have their origin story in the MCU, and how they will make their debut into the MCU in the Antman and the Wasp 3. If you like this theory, if you like this idea, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit that notifications bell. That way you know when I upload my videos to YouTube. Also, make sure y'all guys go over to all of my other pages on YouTube, the official 803 TV. Make sure y'all guys go subscribe to that. And I am starting a third YouTube channel called NGN, which is called Nerd Guy News, that involves around exclusive news around Marvel, DC, The Walking Dead, Power Rangers, anime, you name it, I will be covering it on that channel. I will be starting a Patreon as well, so y'all guys can go and donate to that channel and help out a lot. It really would appreciate so much if y'all guys could do that for me. I will put the Patreon link and everything down in future descriptions of my videos once that Patreon is set up. What will happen is y'all guys' donations to that channel will help me do awesome CGI work. I like doing theories within the MCU and DC and a whole bunch of other stuff like that. So I want to be able to create some awesome Marvel theories and DC theories and anime theories by using CGI work, and doing like a whole bunch of green screen and stuff like that. So I would love to do that, and the only way I'd be able to do that is with y'all guys' support. So I would really highly appreciate it if y'all guys could do that for me. That way I can bring some awesome content to that channel, and I can go back to doing moto vlogs on my Moto 6 Andy channel. Anyway guys, thank you so much. This is another episode of the Heroes Vote, and I am your host Brandon. Catch y'all guys next time.